Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we are going to discuss the general science of class 7, unit number 3. Chapter name is Transport System in Plants and Animals. Uh, if you come to the page 21, bottom of the page 21, there is topic transport system in plants. Transport system in plants. Remember, students, that what how the material. Now we will discuss that how the materials, water, food, minerals, how they are transported in plants. If we come to this is a plant. This is the soil. These are the roots, stem, leaves, and flower. So, actually, the water is absorbed by the root hairs. Then it enters into the root. From root, the water enters into stem. From stem into branches, and ultimately the water reaches at the leaf. So, similarly, when light falls upon leaf surface, sunlight, we know that green plants prepare their own food material by picking up carbon dioxide, CO2 from air, and water from roots. So water and carbon dioxide combines in leaf in presence of sunlight. They produce their own food material or sugar, what also called, simply call it glucose. This sugar or glucose is then also transported inside the body of the plant. This prepared food goes to fruits, roots, stem, and at the apexis, where which is the peak point of a plant where growth takes place, the apex. So all food is utilized there. So this is the actually something about how the transport takes place in plants. So, dear students, now if you come to the top of the page 22, page number 22. If you come to the top of this page, there is a topic vascular system of plants. So my topic is vascular system of plants. So actually remember that substances mean water, minerals. The substances are the materials in plants move from roots into the stem up to the leaves, flowers, apexes, wherever it is utilized. So all these materials in plants move from one part of the plant to another part of the plant through a narrow system of tubes. This system, these tubes are called vascular tissues. So the transport of material inside the bodies of the plants takes place through a system of narrow tubes which are joined together. These are called vascular tissues. There are two types of vascular tissues. Number one, xylem tissues. Remember that the xylem tissues are long tubular cells. They are connected together. Actually, let's say water and minerals. These are absorbed by the root hairs. Then these water and minerals, through the process of diffusion, it goes into root. At the middle of the root, there are xylem tissues. Xylem tissues are present at the middle of the root here. These xylem tissues are connected with the xylem tissues of the stem. From stem, the xylem tissues enters into, or these tubes enters into the leaf, you can see this middle line in each and every leaf. These are actually the xylem. Another is called phloem. So these are the bundles of combination of these two, xylem and phloem. So another type of tissues which are called phloem tissues. Both of these two are combined here, and this is called midrib. These are called veins. This midrib and veins are actually both xylem and phloem. Now let me discuss the xylem in detail. Remember that the main job of the xylem tissues to pick up water and minerals from roots and to transport it to the stem, leaves, branches, flowers, all parts of the plant. So the transport of the water and minerals, or minerals we also call it dissolved salts. So the transport of these materials from roots up to the all parts of the plant, this is the duty of xylem tissues. Xylem, I said that xylem tissues are the tubular structures. This is one cell, one xylem cell. This is another xylem cell. A group of cells is called tissues. So one cell is connected with the other. In long trees, for example, in jungles, where we have huge, long, towering trees, in those trees, these xylem tissues are longer. They are much more longer, and their length may go to 30 meters. 30 meters almost constitute round about 90 to 100 feet. So they are very, very long. They are very, very long. Now, let me move towards the phloem. Phloem are another tubular structures. They also have tubular structures, but the main difference between the xylem and phloem is this: the xylem are just tubular structures, while the phloem they are perforated. They have small pores. How the pores are created? Actually, in these, the cellulose fibers are arranged in a way that they form small pores like this. Look at this. So they have small pores or sieves. That's why phloem tissues are also called sieve tubes. These are also called sieve tubes. SIEVE, sieve tubes. This is a name used for phloem tissues. So phloem tissues are also called sieve tubes. Why? Because they have perforated structures. And how pores are formed? Due to the crisscross arrangement of cellulose fibers, which forms small narrow pores. So now what is the job of the phloem tissues? Phloem tissues are actually, they are present in connection with the xylem tissues. For example, these are the xylem tissues, and these are xylem tissues, and these are the phloem tissues. So both are present, and they are present at the central part of, if you take the cross section of the stem, they are present right in the center of each and every plant. So now what is the main job of the phloem tissues? You know that when light falls on leaf, when light falls on leaf surface, inside the leaf surface, water is transported through roots. The lower part of each leaf have very small pores which are called stomata. Through stomata, the leaf absorb carbon dioxide. Water comes from roots, so carbon dioxide and water combines to form glucose, which is the food. So the food is prepared inside the leaf. Now this is the job of the phloem tissues. This is the main, you can say, the task of the phloem tissues, to transport the prepared food from leaf to all parts of the body where it may be utilized. For example, food is utilized in the apexes. Apexes, where the peak of a plant, where the growth takes place. So the transport of the food from leaf to apexes or to the storage point. Storage point may be fruit, maybe seed, maybe roots, maybe stem. So transport of the food takes place inside the fruit, seed, stem and roots. So this all transport is controlled by the phloem tissues. So the phloem tissues, what the phloem tissues does, phloem tissues pick up the prepared food from leaf and transport the prepared food from leaf to storage points, for example seed, for example fruits, for example stem, for example roots, and to the growing pots, for example the taproot, for example apexes. So this is the job of the phloem tissues. Uh, Students, now we are going to discuss another topic. If you come to the middle of the page 22, unit number 3, page 22, middle, there is a topic, absorption of water by roots. Absorption of water by roots. That's a small topic. Actually, let me discuss briefly it. You know, this is a root. This is a root. Each root has some small threads or fiber like structures. These structures are called, for example, let me take this. These are called root hairs. What we call this? Root hairs. Root hairs are single celled. Actually, these are nothing but these are the elongations of cells. So, first of all, let me draw this. For example, this is soil. If you give water to soil, the first of all, water from soil is absorbed by the root hairs. For example, let me magnify this root hair. Let me magnify it. This is a root hair. First of all, water is absorbed by this root hair, and this root hair is then connected with the root. From this root hair, then water enters into the root, and from root into stem, from stem into branches, leaves, flowers, seeds and fruit. Then water is transported. So actually, first of all, the root hairs pick up water, they absorb water, and then through diffusion the water enters into the root, and from root then enter into the xylem tissues of the root, and from xylem into the xylem of stem, branches, and up to the leaves. So this is something about the xylem. Actually, I have discussed few times that xylem tissues are present at the center, and the transport of water and minerals into the plant is the duty of xylem tissues. So, okay, let me proceed towards the next topic, the flow of water through plants. Remember that the main job of the plant is to absorb mineral, and main job of the root is to absorb water and minerals from soil. When water and minerals are absorbed by the root hairs, it enters into the root and finally into the xylem tissues of the root. From xylem tissues of the root are connected with the xylem tissues of the stem, and stem are then connected with the leaf. When water reaches to leaf, this is the upper side of the leaf surface. At the lower side of the leaf surfaces, there are small pores which are called stomata. The singular is stoma, the plural is stomata. So stomatas are the small pores which are present at the lower side of each leaf. Actually, when water reaches to the leaves, from leaves water is evaporated. So the evaporation of water from leaf surface is called transpiration. This transpiration has its own importance. We will discuss it later. But now, please students, come to the page 23, the top factors on which the rate of transpiration depends. I'm sure you are clear about what is transpiration. Transpiration is actually the loss or evaporation of water from leaf surface through small pores which are called stomata into the leaf structure. So what factors are responsible for transpiration? If you come to the top of the page 23, there is a topic factors on which the rate of transpiration depends. The first factor they have discussed is the wind. You know, when the rate of transpiration increases with the increase in uh, speed of the wind. So when faster winds are blowing, then they takes the water away from the leaf surface. So in this way, the rate of transpiration increases with the speed of the wind. The second factor is temperature. Remember that when greater is the temperature, greater will be the rate of transpiration. You know, in summer the rate of transpiration will be much more higher than winter, because in some summer temperature is high while in winter the temperature is comparatively low. The third factor they have discussed is the humidity. You can see humidity is nothing but the presence of water vapors in air. This determines the humidity. For example, when rainfall occurs, after rain or during the rainy season, lot of water is present in form of vapors in air, so we call it humidity. So on humid day is lot of water is present, almost present in air, then the rate of transpiration is gradually decreased. So remember that the rate of transpiration decreases with the increase in humidity. So the last factor they have discussed is the time of day. Remember that during the daytime stomata are open, while at night the stomata, much of the stomata gets closed. So when daytime stomata are open, so there will be lot of transpiration from the leaf surface. So for time being, I have discussed these topics. Dear students, if you come to the page 23, there is a topic transport of food in plants. Transport of food in plants. So this topic is present at the page 23 if you check the middle of the page. Now you know that when light falls on leaf surface, inside the green leaves, plants prepare their own food material by the combination of water and carbon dioxide and presence of sunlight. This process is called photosynthesis. So photo means light, synthesis means to prepare. So the preparation of food inside the green leaves and by the combination of carbon dioxide and water by the green plants is called photosynthesis. So food is prepared by photosynthesis inside the green leaves. So once the food is prepared, then it is transported to the various parts of the plant, and the transport of the prepared food from one point to another point, I means from leaves to other parts of the body, is called translocation. This is called translocation. This is called translocation. So translocation is the process by which the prepared food is transported from one part to another part of the plant. So food is prepared here. Now where the food will go? Remember that the prepared food from leaves goes to 2 points. Number 1, storage points. Number 2, growing points. Storage points may be stem, roots, seed, or fruit. So glucose or sugar, whatever may be the prepared food, so it goes from leaves to stem, roots, seeds, or fruits where it is stored. The food may also go to the growing points. Remember that in plants there are two growing parts where the growth takes place. So growing points are two. One is the apex. Look at this. This is the apex. New shoot develops from this. So the food also goes to the apex. The food also goes to the root tip. Root tip is the some swollen part of the root, and through this the root actually increases its length inside the soil. So this was something about the transport of food in plants. Dear students, now we will discuss another topic at page 23, gaseous exchange in plants. Gaseous exchange in plants. How plants exchange gases? You know, plants are the living things, and respiration, I mean to breathe, this is one of the property of the all living organisms. So plants also do respiration or they breathe. So while breathing, they takes in oxygen. They takes in oxygen through small pores, which I told you these are called stomata. The small pores, oxygen enters into the small pores into the leaf. Let's say these are the leaf cells. These are the leaf cells. So when oxygen enters into the leaf through small pores, stomata, then through the process of diffusion they goes into the spaces between these are the cells. These are the spaces between cells. These are called intercellular spaces. So oxygen gas comes here, and from these intercellular spaces then the oxygen enters into the cell where respiration takes place, and inside the cells food is broken down and energy is released. Similarly, carbon dioxide is also produced. So carbon dioxide produced during the respiration, sorry, not transpiration, it comes out of the cells. Carbon dioxide comes out if it is the daytime. You know, during daytime photosynthesis also takes place. So much of the carbon dioxide which is produced by respiration is utilized in photosynthesis. So no carbon dioxide comes out of the leaf surface. So that's why the respiration is almost undetectable during the daytime, because during the respiration carbon dioxide goes out and oxygen is taken in, but due to the photosynthesis much of the carbon dioxide is utilized in photosynthesis, so no carbon dioxide comes out of plant surface. So respiration is almost invisible, but during the night time when there is no photosynthesis, carbon dioxide comes out. So that's why normally the medical doctors and many people or the wise people says that never sleep under trees during the night time, because plants respire, they breathe, and they releases carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is definitely it's a pollutant, so this can be dangerous. Actually, the larger concentrations of carbon dioxide can be dangerous. So that's why, and so this was something about the gaseous exchange. So during the gaseous exchange, oxygen is taken in, carbon dioxide goes out. But during the daytime, no carbon dioxide goes out. A very small carbon dioxide goes out. But during the night time, when oxygen is taken in, lot of carbon dioxide goes out. And oxygen which is taken in, that is used in respiration. It goes to the cells, and cells food is also present, so it broken down the food, which releases energy and carbon dioxide. So this is the process of respiration. Students, at the page 24 there is a very small topic, which is the name of this topic is the importance of transpiration. Importance of, so what is the role of transpiration? I told you in about few, sometimes before I told you about the transpiration. Transpiration is the evaporation of water from leaf surface through small pores called stomata. Much of the stomata are present at the lower surface of the leaf. So when transpiration takes place, then what happens? How it is beneficial or harmful to leaf surface? So it is harmful in the sense that water is lost, but it also gives some benefits to plant. So how it is beneficial for the plants? What are the advantages? What are the role of transpiration in plants? So there are 3 points in your book. If you check the page 24, the importance of transpiration. First, it carries water and minerals from soil to leaves. Remember that when water is lost, when water is lost from leaf surface, a deficiency is produced. When deficiency of water is felt, then automatically the water from the roots, it starts arising and comes here and compensate the deficiency produced. I mean, when deficiency is felt, deficiency is produced in the leaf, inside the leaf surfaces. So in order to control that deficiency, the water from the roots start arising and it goes to the plant. So how water arises, and water also have the minerals. So water and minerals arises to the upper part of the plant due to the transpiration. If there is no transpiration, there will be no transport of water from roots to upper part of the plant. So the next point is it keeps the cells turgid, so they can support the plant. Remember that turgidity. Let's say, let me draw a cell. This is a cell. This is the nucleus of the cell. When this cell absorbs enough water, it swells up. It swells up and it develops a pressure from inside. This is called turgidity, and this is very important in stomata, which are the small pores. For example, this is the normal stomata. This is the normal stomata. This is the normal stomata. But when these cells absorb enough water, the stomata swells up. It swells up like this, and its pore becomes quite visible and open, so the exchange of gases becomes easy. This is the stomata without water. This is the stomata in turgid conditions. Turgid means it has absorbed enough water and it swells up. When it swells up, the pore become larger, and when this pore become larger, the exchange of gases become easy. So carbon dioxide can easily goes out and oxygen can easily gets in. So turgidity in cells is important, and this is the role of transpiration. So the final point about the transpiration is the evaporation of water from the leaves keeps them cool in hot weather. So let's say if you take bath and come to the front of a fan, you will feel cool. If you put some spirit or water on the palm of your hand, it evaporates and your palm of hand feels cool. This means if evaporation of something cause cooling. So similarly, in summer we sweat. When our body becomes wet with the sweat, we feel comparatively cooler. So this is the main job of the plant transpiration, that transpiration keeps the body cool And how it can keeps the body cool. Actually, when water evaporates from the leaf surface, the evaporation of water needs energy in form of heat, so they take away lot of heat with them. The water vapor which goes out, they takes away the heat with them. So the leaf surface is remain with the less heat, so it lowers the temperature. So there is a role of transpiration in lowering of temperature. So in this way it keeps the plant body cool.